So are you thinking of them, for example, the CFO told R.K. Rooney, I think, that the idea of them as a meme name doesn't resonate because they want to portray them as a growing, evolving, broader platform. Do you see them like that, or are they basically a play on gamification and memes?
This is a quarter that they laid out a lot of very positive things about what could happen. But it's not happening yet. Right now, it does feel... I mean, if you're basing your business on opening accounts that are Dogecoin, that's not exactly opening your accounts with with 5-year treasuries, with notes. And it's also not opening accounts with a mutual fund. It's not opening accounts with just... with companies, and I think that they have to be careful. That's not as sustainable as you'd like. Now, I know that there are Dogecoin fans, but that's my least favorite. That's everybody's least favorite of the cryptos because it does seem a mockery of a sham.
As it was intended to be originally.
Yes, and that's what they went for. And that's what they went for. You know, because it's low price. The irony of the is that somehow they think this is fine. I mean, I was. That what they would do is say, and a lot of our younger investors are buying interesting companies, the genome. They like the stocks that are It seems to be a turn. I like that. Instead, it's Dogecoin. That's not the narrative that they were tracing before they were coming public. I think that the stock would not be where it is. Listen, people are opening accounts and they're opening it with Dogecoin. The stock just simply wouldn't be where it is. I found it revelatory. And someone was hoping it would not be this case. I do like the company so much. Robinhood's customers demonstrate significant interest with over 60% of our net cumulative funded accounts trading in crypto. 60%. I mean, that's like wow.
Yep.
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome. How's everybody doing? Holding on? Are we holding on? Holding on. That's what we got to talk about. That intro, and sorry for the double sound there. I have another sound thing that's on, and I didn't realize that intro would get messed up. But that was 3 years ago. Robinhood stock was at a price of $45 a share. And I told you guys I would be buying Robinhood when it dropped below $20. Well, today it dropped below $20. I got $17. That's $17 Hood stock today. So that's pretty good. But all that talk about Robinhood and Dogecoin and from 3 years ago, it's just like Kramer's like, I mean, Robinhood is very, very profitable. Dogecoin at that time, 3 years ago, was 30 cents. So it's a little less than half now, or a little more than half off of that. But we'll get there. And where are we going to go and what's going on and why the dump? The dump not only in crypto, the dump is also in the stock market, pretty much across the board. So let's analyze it. Let's get into it. Hey, everybody, welcome. Welcome. We're like, dude, where'd this come from? And who predicted this? Well, for one, this is the current price of Dogecoin here. And 11.3 or so. We zoom out to the daily. And we've now had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 7th straight red day in a row. 7 straight red days. This is my price prediction for August. If you guys didn't see my August price prediction video from yesterday, and I predicted Doge coming right down to this level. I thought it was going to take a few more days. I didn't think it would happen all at once, but a bad jobs report today spooked investors, and we had a lot of selling of risk on assets. People wanted to be risk off, so that's selling. So this whole idea about cryptocurrency, particularly Bitcoin, being a hedge against inflation and other insecurities Well, that's just not true. When markets start moving, you still have investors, and you still have investors selling whenever there's fear in the market. So that's the big picture. But, well, I guess that's more the near-term picture. Does it turn into a recession? And what does the Fed do about it? A lot of talk about that. Yeah, folks. I got my cold one right here. I'm already drinking. Cheers. I'm already drinking. I mean, what can you do, right? What can you do? 7 days in a row. It's 7 red days in a row now. And this one's the worst. So, yeah. Holding on. I mean, if you're still a believer in cryptocurrency and crypto markets going forward, you're holding and maybe buying dips. Maybe buying dips. Bitcoin at 63,000, it had actually dropped down below 62.5, which was a key line that we had here going back to beginning of July. That was a resistance level there. And if we break below that 62, then look out, we could be back in the 50s again for Bitcoin. So we'll be watching that as well during the stream. But the news is this: grim US job numbers roil the markets. Yeah, roil the markets. That's bad. S&P 500 down, NASDAQ all down. Just about every stock in the red. And yeah, but those who have conviction of the markets going forward always see this as an opportunity, right? This is an opportunity. This is where money can be made. Now, will the markets continue to drop? Will they go lower? That's the unknown. It's a Friday, right? Stock market just closed. Aftermarket is usually pretty dead on a Friday. So we'll check in on that and see what aftermarket prices are doing. But for the most part, they're probably not doing much because the dump already happened during the day. So we got that. Bitcoin dips after weak US jobs report. And the jobs report, interestingly, comes 2 days after the Fed's FOMC meeting. And what did Powell say the other day? He wanted to see what the jobs look like. Well, that only came 2 days later, and it was bad. Also, because the Biden administration usually fudges the numbers, it's probably worse. It's probably worse than the number showed. So we have that going for us. The Biden administration does not want negative GDP growth to show that the economy is in an official recession for the United States before the election. They're going to do everything they can to keep that from happening. So if Trump wins, then all the real numbers and the real fallout gets dumped on Trump. But that's not until after the election. So I think we have until the election to battle this out. And we're going to see chop, at least for the next couple months, as I showed on my chart as well. We're going to see chop. It's going to go down. It's going to go up, down, up, down, up. That's what I predicted for August. And we'll see about September going forward after that. Chop. We're living in that chop zone now. This is going to turn around. 7 red days in a row. We got going into the weekend now. We could see this turn around. What happens though when the market dumps like this? Well, you get long liquidations, right? All those big, long leverage trades we've been talking about day after day after day, now they're getting down and they're just taking out the big boys now. The big ones that were left sitting there with open leveraged calls, thinking 2 days ago, 1 day ago, the market was going to turn around, so they weren't worried about their leverage position. And then it gets dumped. One of the most recent was this Bitcoin on Binance, a $2.96 million trade. That's one trade at $2.96 million, got taken out at 62,500. So some of the drop could be on the market maker side, on the exchange side, taking out more leveraged longs. And as we see over the past 24 hours, $74 million on Bitcoin, almost $70 million on ETH, Sol almost $22 million. And here's Doge, about 3.3 total liquidations, 2.6 on the long side in Doge over the past 24 hours. So yeah, for you guys who are trading with leverage, if you were going long, most likely you got wiped. So crypto liquidation surge amid stock market turndown. What are you doing? What are you doing? We've been talking for months about this, all through the summer, that this is not the market to be fooling around. Buy on the dips and hold and wait for the big bull run for this cycle, which I believe is still yet to happen. But Bitcoin is weak. Bitcoin recovery will be or may be delayed. May be delayed. Bitcoin struggling, yes. But overall, there's a lot of FUD out there, but to have all these inflows to the spot ETFs, that is what actually could be saving us and could be saving Bitcoin, are those ETFs. So you got retail traders freaking out, price goes down, but you got those ETFs, which is a huge percentage now of the overall Bitcoin supply. And unless those ETF holders are dumping, probably not. They don't want to sell for a loss. That could help. That could help save what's going on. So we'll be looking at the inflows and outflows of what happened, particularly today. And so for tonight, we'll see what that looks like. We'll see what that looks like. Meanwhile, you've got altcoins. A top analyst is absolutely shocked at the state of the altcoin market, highlighting the weakness against Bitcoin. And I attribute that to the spot ETFs again. The ETFs are help keep Bitcoin up. The altcoins are more on the retail side, and they're experiencing bigger drops percentage-wise. So Bitcoin dominance is going up, as Ben Cohen predicted. Whether it's going to get to 60%, we don't know. Here's the current Bitcoin dominance percentage, 56.75 now. So it hasn't even hit 57% yet, but the trend has been up since the middle of July. Look at that. This is on a daily, the trend has been up on Bitcoin dominance, which I think the spot ETFs keeping Bitcoin higher while retail are selling altcoins. And so we're seeing a bigger percentage drop on the altcoin side. So that's what that looks like. And there was one other thing in this article. Altcoin market appears to be underperforming despite the overall strength of the cryptocurrency market. So there was that. There was something about FOMC though, but I think it was in one of these other articles that I missed talking about. I totally skipped it. Yeah, Bitcoin could retest 62,500 support level. It actually dropped a little bit below it earlier. 62.5. Not that one. So crypto market jitters. Who's got the jitters? Anybody here got the jitters? Get crypto market jitters? At the conclusion of this week's FOMC, Federal Open Market Committee meeting, Federal Chair Jerome Powell suggested that the U.S. Central Bank is focused on the U.S. labor market. As the pace of inflation slows toward the Fed's 2% goal, Powell said jobs have come more in focus. And then today we get the jobs report, and it's bad. So now, as of today, the next Fed meeting isn't until September 18th, 2024. There's a 27% chance there's going to be a 0.25 or 25 basis point cut. Only 25? Like only 25%? Why? That used to be much higher. Why did they get lower? Well, that's because there's now a 72.5% that the Fed will cut 50 basis points, 0.5. 50. Because they've been doing nothing. Other countries have already had rate cuts, except for Japan, which raised rate. That's a whole different story. They got real problems over there. 50 basis points. Some are saying the Fed could actually intervene in August, even though there's no FOMC meeting, and say, look, we need to do something here. We'll do a 25 basis point cut now. That could come mid-August. And then on mid-September, this number will probably change back to 0.25, and that'll be what the cut is in September. But we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. So what does this mean for Dogecoin? Right? What does it mean for Doge in August? Well, price performance in August, you can look at the history, you can look at the liquidity, you can look at the chart, or you could just look at Kriss's August prediction, which is what I'm going to keep referring to, because that's still what I think is going to happen. Again, I predicted this price point down here, but not for another week. It happened in a day and a half. So, but recovery coming back later on in the month, after the first half, then we would see recovery, back test, and then move up. That's what I'm looking at. And look, there's good things going on. X has just secured the money transmitter license in the state of North Dakota, and X now has 35 states. Only 15 more to go. So they continue to get ready for X payments, which of course isn't going to have Dogecoin on day one, but as soon as X payments gets going on X, we'll see what they're going to do about tokens, crypto, whatever. As soon as they get X payments going, then they can move on to the next phase. Dogecoin falling wedge, breakout potential. I mean, they're showing this falling wedge, not too different than my wedge, with potential breakout coming forward. Pretty similar. But what's in the bigger picture? So I got this, I'm on this CoinMarketCap spotlight email thing, and it says market seems bearish, but the indicators are bullish. So we had MicroStrategy. They're continuing to buy Dogecoin, and they're about to do another stock offering or something funny with the stock to be able to collect another like $2 billion to buy more Bitcoin. So Michael Saylor is continuing the Bitcoin buying strategy. And today you can buy Bitcoin for less than you could yesterday or the day before. Bitcoin suddenly drops to 62K, liquidating $300 million in long positions. As we just said, the leverage, just killing, get that leverage out of here. Just wipe it out and get it done with so we can go higher. BlackRock is continuing to build and fund crypto-related projects. BlackRock. There's some people who are suggesting that with the BlackRock ETF, there may have been some selling on the ETF side, but BlackRock has not been actually selling the underlying asset of Bitcoin. They are holding it. So that's kind of interesting. Ethereum holding support. I think it actually dropped below 3,000. Just touched 3,000 right here. Just touched it for ETH. But for those who bought last year at like 1,600, you're still up almost double. So you're like, it's a dip. It'll turn around, right? It's a dip. It'll turn around. And there's still memes. People still making money on memes. A lot of people still losing money on memes too, if you're getting in too late. So that's what's going on. But what's the big picture? Look, beginning of 2024, we thought we were running into alt season. The alt slowed down. Bitcoin took off after the spot ETFs. And so we had a big Bitcoin run, and we went all the way down into Bitcoin season, which we are still in. This is projected to turn back around this fall, where altcoins will again dominate, and we'll be back in altcoin season. And the big picture is there's a dip. We now have a double dip. This was before today's big dip back down to this level. So we've now had a double dip. Chop season, stay patient, wait for the real breakout, because the real breakout will come. And if you're a believer in the 4-year cycles, you get a big accumulation period, you get a preliminary breakout, and then a chop of extended accumulation before the big run up. Happened in 2020. And here we are in 2024 in almost the identical position that we were in 2020. Almost identical. Altcoins are on the verge of breaking out of a months-long consolidation. We've already seen this in 2016 and 2020. Big bull run for altcoins is coming, even if you don't believe it yet. This post goes out to all those who have patience. From the crypto prof, otherwise known as Mustache. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So that's what we got going on, guys. Let's do some Q&A. Doge hanging out at 11.2. Let's see what is going on. Demotic. What do you see as near-term bottom? We're going to be fighting it here tonight around 11 cents. Probably dip into the 10s. The upper 10s is, I think. Eating the dip, Enrique. Hey, KB, how are you? Holding on? Don't you let go, Samuel says. Hey, Blue Horse. Painful to see the red. I know. 7 red days in a row. Ouch. Ouch. Jason, stop by Walmart to get some chips for the dip. Cheers. Cheers. Buy the dip and then the dippy dips. Yep, there's the cold one. Cold one's always good. No pain, no gain. Some say that. I'd rather just have prices go up, but this was entirely predicted. If you guys have been watching me for months, you knew this was coming. Ryan's a few drinks in yourself. Please not the 50s again for Bitcoin. Yeah, and who knows about Sunday, right? Sundays can go either way, Enrique. I don't know. What's up, Bull Run? Up, down, up, down, up, down. That's pretty much it. That's what I've been showing. There's still a lot of shorting going on. Eventually, this is going to go on a run, and it's going to take out more shorts. Leverage, killer. Longs get wrecked. Yeah, like I said earlier, Bullrun, the Biden administration is going to do everything they can to keep the economy afloat just enough to avoid that R word. And then if Trump wins, then it all gets dumped onto the Trump administration, and they've got to deal with it. But if Kamala wins, they got to figure out new ways to fudge the numbers and get out of it. I don't think they have a plan. Is most trading still happening in Binance? So outside of trading that is going on through swaps or on closed platforms like Robinhood, which is not really exchange trading, we can go into CoinMarketCap, and they do show us, like for Bitcoin. You can go down into the Bitcoin markets here, and you can see what percentage of the overall market is actually being traded on Binance. Of course, there's a number of pairs you have to look at, but there's like 15% of the overall Bitcoin market is Binance, over 15%. Bybit is next at about 4.5%. But I think there's some other Bitcoin pairs, if I recall, that add to that. Yeah, down here. Well, there's Binance US, which is less than 1%. But here's BTC USD at 0.5%, ETH BTC at 0.3%, Sol BTC at 0.27. So maybe you add all of those trading pairs up together, and maybe you've got 20% of the overall Bitcoin trading happening on Binance, which is 3 times as much as the next highest. Now, if you go to Dogecoin and you look at Dogecoin market, it's even bigger. Because we know there's a lot of Dogecoin trading that happens on Robinhood, but that's a closed system. And so those numbers don't show up anywhere. But here with Dogecoin, you've got just on the first two Binance trading pairs, you've got over 19% just right there. And then here's other trading pairs, 0.3, 0.3. So this is like maybe 22% for Dogecoin is on Binance. So yeah, that's a lot. The next highs, Coinbase is 3, OKX is 5, Bybit is 3, Upbit is 3, HTX is 10. So a lot of Doge trading happening on HTX today. But yeah, it's still more Binance. Yep. Sitting on your hands right now, not doing anything. Yep. Now I bought Robinhood stock. I told you guys I was going to buy more Robinhood or some Robinhood because I hadn't gotten into Hood yet. And I was waiting for it to drop below $20. And this morning at market open, it was dropping. And I waited and I waited and I waited. And then I bought below $18. I bought it about 17.95, like right there on that dip. That's where I bought. And then it started going back up to 18.2, 18.3. And I was like, hey, pretty good. That was a good. I bought on the dip. Well, it dropped a little lower down to 17.7, closed at 17.88. And now after market, it's back up to 17.95, which is right where I bought it. But I bought some Robinhood stock because that was my target. I said I was going to do it. And we saw 3 years ago in the intro, Robinhood stock was at $45. And I think it's going to turn back around and at least get up over $20. So that's going to be like almost guaranteed profit. Now we'll see. Is the market going to continue to tank on Monday? I don't know. We'll see. But out of all the stocks, it looks like aftermarket, Robinhood up 0.39% is one of the biggest recoveries because of how much it dropped down. See what else is on my watch list. Well, actually, AMC is going up big after market, back up over $5 because there's a big dump right there at market close on AMC. Apple had a good day today. Apple was actually in one of the few green stocks today was Apple stock, and it's still slightly going up after market. So that's stock market. Everything else in the red, though, and especially like NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA just dumped big today. Well, actually, it recovered a bit. It dumped this morning, and then it ended up recovering. So it was only down about a 0.78. But I bought Robinhood. That was in my plan. So that's what I did. I finally figured out what Donald Trump wants to do to pay off all our national debt. Well, I don't know if he can write a Bitcoin check, though, like he said. It's like, that's not how it works. Can we see 39 cents by October? Most likely not, KB. And that may be by the end of the year or next year. Probably too soon by October for Dogecoin. Hit the like button, peeps. Thank you, Northwoods, everybody. The like, appreciate it. Patience, yes. I know stock market alone, 870 billion. Out of all the markets, it was like $9 trillion. Crypto overall is what, like 2 trillion? So we're still early in crypto. We're still early. How low for Pepe? Ah, I didn't look at Pepe today. I didn't look at Pepe today. Oh, gained a zero back. Down to 97. Hard to say whether this is the bottom right here of this dip, and we're going to see a turnaround this weekend. Because stocks stopped trading. A lot of the dump today was on the back of the stock market and fears in the stock market that I actually think we're going to level off and maybe have a little increase over the weekend on crypto. I don't think the dip is going to keep dipping after this. I think we're going to see a little turnaround this weekend. Hola, my friend from Puerto Rico. Welcome. You got into Doge recently after watching one of my videos? Gracias. Bought another 5,000 worth yesterday. We'll keep buying. That's the plan, right? Stick to it. You're back in Swift, converted from Jasmine. Really? Good luck. You got 20,000 so far. For every individual, it's going to be different based on your own financial position. What you're willing to put in the market, because again, crypto is very risky, right? Some people have a lot more in overall than others. So the amount of Doge you have is up to you. You should have waited for Hood stock. It may drop lower. Yeah, I don't know on Monday if it's going to continue to drop. And I just thought, I saw recovery happening with other stocks. And it's like, so I bought the Hood today. But we'll see. We'll see. Nothing to do with writing the Bitcoin check. Well, I mean, overall, we covered this last weekend. Trump's remarks at the Bitcoin conference, support of Bitcoin, but how much of that is trying to get votes versus what he's actually going to do? Is he going to fire Gary Gensler on day one? We'll know right away. We'll know right away whether Gary Gensler is still the SEC chair the day after Trump takes office, if he wins. That'll tell us right away. That'll be a good day for crypto if that happens. That'll be a good day. Saturdays are usually good for crypto. That's true. We've had a few bad ones, but Gabrielle thinks Bitcoin's dropping to 58K. So not thinking Saturday is going to be good for crypto. Bitcoin chart doesn't look great. So the 62.5 support was broken. And that came back to these lows over here that we had at 62.5 on 16th of July. So we're just below that now. Next support might be 59.9. So we could be seeing sub 60K Bitcoin. What is SWFT? The Swift coin. At 0.003, and you think it's going to $2? Wow. It's 0.003, guys. 0.003. Swift coin. Started trading on Coinbase in July of 2022. It hasn't even been to a penny yet. This big run we had in March, it didn't even make it to a penny. So, Swift coin, huh? I've never looked at this before. I mean, there was certainly some good, but everything was going up end of February into March. I mean, Doge and Sheeb, and I mean, they were all pumping then. You guys are really into this, huh? SWFT. Anybody else into this? It's number 888 overall in market cap. Ooh. It has 4 billion circulating supply out of a 10 billion total supply. So not even half of the tokens are actually in circulation. There's an unlock of up to 6 billion more. This is the system used by BRICS. Interesting. It's not on Binance. Can't get it on Binance. The Swift blockchain, one-stop cross-chain. So why don't they use XRP or something? You've got a Swift bag too, Borun? Ugh, I am behind on this. With over 800 cryptocurrencies available on the platform and access to 50 plus public blockchain networks, the Swift blockchain offers a comprehensive suite of services for crypto users. They have their own app. Huh. I may have to look into this. Especially now that we're seeing a big dip, right? .003. Yeah, I know, Borun. I know where you are. Well, for anyone looking to buy this coin on the dip, it's now lower than it's been since February. So anybody who bought in April, May, June, or July, you're under. Okay. Kriss will take a look at this. Kriss will take a look at this. I may have to reallocate, though. Get out of something else to get into this is what I would probably do. I mean, I could book profits on Aave, because look at what Aave's been doing. It's going up. While everything else is going down, Aave's going up. But I don't want to sell something that I think is going to like turn around and go up. Big percentage. Yeah, I don't have XRP. I don't have any XRP. XRP started to recover last week. It was looking good, and now it's dropping back below 60 cents. Yeah, I buy it on Coinbase. In the United States, it's on Coinbase for Swift. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. We'll see. In the meantime, Doge is trying to recover here on the 15-minute chart. We're trying to recover on Doge. When Lambo is asking, can we hit $5? We talked about this last week. This week is not the time to be talking about $5 Doge. We're trying to stay like level-headed here as there are threats of recession and market dump today. If Swift goes to 2, Doge goes to 10, wow. Okay. It does sound crazy, but yeah, I'll look into it. You got your Swift bag. Well, I mean, you know Doge, right? And its circulation. It's actually more than 132 billion now. Dogecoin circulation is now 145 billion. 145 billion Doge. So yeah, Jobin, I don't know. It looks like Doge is trying to reverse right now. That'll be nice if we can get back up here near 12 cents. I will look into this Swift coin. I will take a look at it. Yeah, Gabrielle, I mean, if Biden had not stepped down, I think there was a pretty clear path that Trump was most likely going to win the election. And the Democrats essentially forcing him to drop out and having all of this Kamala hoopla, especially the middle of the month when the Democrats have their convention, that's probably going to give all the polls and everything a boost. But even then, it's still like 2.5 months until the actual election. So a lot can happen. Are there going to be debates? Like what else is going on with the economy? Are either Trump or Harris going to like shoot themselves in the mouth saying stupid things? You know, all of that plays into the election. So I don't know. It's certainly a lot more in question now than it was a few weeks ago. And markets tend to not like uncertainty. DGB. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Long term. I'm looking for short term right now. I'm looking for short term because I want to be selling a lot of my crypto for profits here in 6 months. I want to be taking profits. So I don't like these huge dips. I'm really not in the market to buy a lot of crypto because I don't have a lot of cash sitting on the side because it's all already in crypto. So I'd rather have it all just go up. But I get some of you still want to buy stuff on dips. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about politics too much here, only as it relates to finances and crypto. I'll talk about that, but I don't want to get into the other the other political stuff. Trump wins, crypto and stocks fly. I don't think it'll come to a recession, but it'll go down to the wire. Yeah, I kind of agree. I think the Democrats will do what they can to prop up the economy with fake data, fake news, to keep us out of a recession through the election, and see where it goes from there. If Trump wins, there'll be a boost. We'll see good November and December. And that's, maybe hold on until, inauguration and see what Trump does. But then he's going to be like a, buy the rumor, sell the news thing, right? That could happen. Again, when we get closer to that, we'll start talking about profit taking. We'll see where Doge is. We'll see where the price of others are and when we may start taking profits. Right now, we're seeing how low is this thing going to go? Are we going to see more dips? A lot of her. I mean, here's Solana right now down to 150. It didn't hold 160 support. Nothing pretty much held support today, except for Aave. Algo down 12 cents. Oh, poor Algorand. Yeah. Not great. $3 trillion wiped off stocks in minutes because of global recession fears. Bitcoin total market cap is merely $1.25 trillion. There's $900 trillion of wealth, and the world is underallocated on Bitcoin. So yeah, Bitcoin is, and crypto, again, we're so early and we're such a small P, right, in this big, huge arena of global wealth. But it can be more volatile. And as we've seen over time, over the past 12 plus years, Bitcoin pretty much outperforms everything else. Dogecoin has outperformed Bitcoin since 2014. So there is that. But is Dogecoin going to go on another big run? A lot of people don't think so. Is Bitcoin the better place to be? Or have they already gone on their run and we are really facing a continuation of Bitcoin season? Is Bitcoin season going to get lower again as Bitcoin creates more dominance? Or is this going to turn around and we're going to see the real altcoin season like a lot of people, including me, have been predicting for this fall? I'm very heavy into alts. So that's what I want to happen. But right now, it's leaning more toward Bitcoin. I'm not selling any of my crypto until I get huge gains. I'm going to be talking this fall about layering out. And it may not be the huge gains that I thought I'd be getting. But the uncertainty of what you don't know versus the gains that you have could be a balancing act there. But I will never sell my Bitcoin. And I probably won't either. Again, I don't have a lot of Bitcoin. I have a lot of other cryptos, and I'm going to be selling most of those. Cheers, everyone. How's everybody holding up? We're holding up okay. That's kind of a big dump today across the stock market and cryptos. Big dump. But the bigger picture is still 4-year cycles. That hasn't changed. When you look back at 2016 and 2017, and crypto went up by a lot without stimulus checks. So those saying, well, all those stimulus checks in 2020, that helped fuel the crypto market. It helped. Probably would have gone up anyway. But there were no stimulus checks in 2016, and the crypto market went up. It's just the rotation. And I think that is still in play for the rest of this year into 2025. It's still the play. We've talked about how this summer we were going to have ups and downs and maybe more downs, and that has played out. We knew that post-Bitcoin halving, we would see a slowdown in the market. I was predicting May. It was really more starting in June when that happened, a little bit more delayed than I thought. But you can go back to my videos in February where I was predicting post-Bitcoin halving, we were going to see markets going down. I wasn't selling because, again, I'm in this also to preserve as much profit as I can. And I didn't want to be selling cryptos on a short-term capital gains. I want to do long-term capital gains taxes on my profits. And maybe if I wait until 2025 and I don't sell anything until 2025, if Trump becomes president, maybe he'll change the tax code for the 2025 year, of which I wouldn't be paying the taxes on those profits until 2026. Maybe there'll be a change in the accounting on the tax on crypto profits. Something to think about. Something to think about. Your Bitcoin is 25%. That's my Doge. My Doge is 25% of my portfolio. It's just a Miller Lite. It's just a Miller Lite. Nothing fancy. Just sort of the weekend beers when I'm at home. When I go out, I usually have like Stella or something else. Much better. I think last weekend I was drinking like Coronas. Mexican place was having Coronas. 1.1 million Doge and no intention of selling any until we get to 90 cents. Well, Matt, yeah, 90 cents. For those that think that there's going to be a lot of selling right before we get to $1. Yeah, I mean, Trump started hinting at something about taxes, and we don't know. We don't know, but I mean, that would certainly be worth it to wait, right? Just to wait till January 2025. Something I hadn't really thought of until last weekend. And it was just like, oh, wow, okay. Maybe I don't start selling until January. Just on the chance that the tax law gets changed. Wait for a bottom rate cuts coming next few months. We'll flip these prices. Maybe. There are some who say that the interest rate cuts, you get a short-term boost, but longer-term things tend to not be so positive. But it's all happening at the time of this 4-year cycle when global liquidity is rising. We're done with the summer months. People see opportunities because of the dumps in the market. that could stimulate big buying on the retail side. That's when crypto really starts to move. And then once things start moving, you're squeezing out the shorts, FOMO kicks in, you get a bunch of other people start seeing these big gains. That's when other retail comes in, buys and buys and buys. That has happened the past 3 cycles, that same exact pattern. I'm not selling here. I'm not worried or bothered either about these prices. I'd prefer them not to be so low. I mean, 11-cent Doge, we were at 22 cents just a few months ago. Doge has cut in half in its price. I don't like that. For those waiting to buy, you can get twice as much Doge as you could have gotten in March. So there's that opportunity. Dan, I mean, come on. Let's offer some constructive commentary here, because there's nothing that says Dogecoin is going to halve in price yet again. I mean, do you think Bitcoin's going to go down to 30K? Because Doge isn't going to go down by itself. Oh, bull run, really? Leverage trading? We were just talking about the leverage is getting wiped out. I wouldn't touch it till October. I wouldn't do anything now, that's for sure. I wouldn't touch it now. A lot of good opportunities on prices, though. But some of you think it's going to go lower. I don't know. We'll see how this weekend goes. We'll see whether this morning's dip down here right to 11 cents on Doge is as low as it goes, or is it going to be another dip even lower, which would probably be on the backs of like Bitcoin getting pushed down even lower to take out more leveraged trades, as well as ETH dropping way below 3,000, maybe down to 2,900, 2,800 to wipe out additional heavy leverage trades. Now they're that close. They probably see $1 million plus trades with liquidation prices at 2,800, 2,700. We could see that. And that would cause Doge to drop down into the 10s. It would be on the backs of that. It wouldn't just be Doge dropping down. It'd be the backs on where are those big leveraged trades? What are those liquidations? That's what they're going to be looking for at this point. This earlier was the jobs report, right? And the whole market tanking. That was this. Now on the backs of that, they're going to go hunt out those leverage trades. You see TA mentioning Bitcoin to 48K. You know, TA, you can make anything up. I don't buy it. You can do technical analysis charts till you're blue in the face to prove whatever narrative is that you want to prove. That's what I say. Hey, Zach. Hey, you know, we're going to get through this together. That's for sure. I try and keep it real on this channel, as you guys know. So it's not going to be all rocket ships and $1, $2, $5, or $10 Doge. I only look at those in terms of what the total market cap would be of Doge, of how realistic big prices like that may be. But I don't have any realistic expectations that that's going to happen this year. So we wait. October hits. We're all open longs. It'll be known as the christening. I like that. Yep, as predicted. We'll see bull run, whether I get enticed to maybe try some little bit of leverage trading in October. I wouldn't do it before then. If Doge hits $1, you're throwing a party in Dallas? Well, I'm having one in Boston. So you come to mine, I'll come to yours. How about that? TA doesn't work all the time. You got to have common sense first. That's what I look at. Exactly. Same thing. I mean, you look at Bitcoin. What did he say? 48? So you can look back at February. 48. I would see more this grouping here of trading that was in February, which would be around 52. This orange line that we have as a base here is at like 53.5. That was what we saw on the dip on July 4th, was right there. That was 53.5. And we go below that. I don't see this breaking below 50. But if somebody wants to make something up in TA that makes 48 make sense, I'm sure they can do it. I just don't see it. We're starting to form this kind of wedge, which I drew this line here, just kind of looking at the tops on Bitcoin, but nothing's really forming yet on a sort of a realistic kind of shape here. Not like we have on Doge, which is pretty real. The purple line was somebody else had that angle, and we looked at that, and funny how Doge broke out above that purple line here on 19th of July and is coming back and now retesting it for the second time, which is kind of interesting. That's why I have that purple line. It's like, that is kind of interesting because it did hit that as resistance a couple times here on 25th of May, here again on 6th of June, and then bounced off it a couple times, 16th and 17th of July, before breaking above it. Now has come back and retested it twice. That's kind of interesting, just in terms of a support resistance line. So been watching that. Because that may be a more realistic support and resistance line than my orange line. You see up and down, up and down. Yeah, eventually it's going to pump. Right now, the up and down just means more leverage trading is starting and the market makers and exchanges are taking that out. I mean, we look at these liquidations and look over the past few days, 90% of them are all longs, all the greens here. There's been a few reds. When there's a little pump going, they take out a few short positions that open. But it's mostly green. Taking out the longs. Half an hour ago, there was another $1 million ETH taken out at $29.99. Somebody had a liquidation there right below 3,000. Well, on OKX, they hunted it and they found it, wiped out that $1 million trade. Someone had a $100,000 trade on stacks, leveraged. Liquidated. Ouch. Hey, Wei, how are you? Not crashing hard. I mean, down, yes. Not anything like what we saw on July 4th. That was big. We didn't go that low. So, but yeah, it's been 7 days now of red. That's not good. Not good. But here we are. Beginning of August. Buying time, right? Buying on the dips. I held a few million SHIB until a few months ago when I sold. I guess I just don't know if the ROI for SHIB will be equivalent or greater than Doge. SHIB has just been hurting. My buy price is 10. It's at 14.7 now. So not a great return on SHIB. Is SHIB going to go on a big run this fall? I don't know. I'm holding out. The lower SHIB goes, the higher it may pump. I don't know. I just keep holding. Wait for the big run. Traders trying to make some money now. Yep. You hear Ivan on Tech say it on every stream of his when he's promoting Bybit, right? Make money when it goes up and make money when it goes down. But if you don't have that risk tolerance, you could just buy spot. That's what he says, something like that. But yeah, bull run, I think maybe some leverage starting October, and then in 2026, maybe some shorting. But not until then. I don't have the risk for that. Render lost 2/3 of its value. I told you when I sold my render, I got out of it. I can't even show render anymore on this because they don't have it. It's now render. Down to 489. Ouch. What did I sell my render at? I don't even remember now. It's now like totally out of my head because I already sold it now, so I don't think about it. What did I sell that for? Render. Render. Well, this is the old RNDR token, right? No, here it is. $6.13. So I sold at $6.13 back on 13th of July, right there. That's where I sold. So a little run up and then a dump down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 red days in a row for render. Ouch. And it's still going down, still dropping. Ouch. Bitcoin below 62. Doge down to 11.11. Yeah, we're seeing another pullback happening here. Ouch. Rough times. Yep. Jasmine. See what Jasmine's doing, Yili. Take a look. 2.5. It's fighting to stay above 2.5 cents now, so it should double to 5. It was just up at 4 back here, right? When was that? I got to go back to the 4-hour chart for that. Yeah, it was up at 4.5 in June. So not unrealistic to get back and come up a little higher to at least 5 cents. So double from here, that'd be a 2x. And then, of course, a 4x would get it to 10 cents. That might be what we see. I mean, I had dreams of 30 cents, but Japanese economy is hurting really bad. And a lot of the thought behind Jasmy was, Japanese adoption. And that may not be so great. So but yeah, things are just killed here. Stacks down to $1.55. Big drop. And Jasmy's down 10% now today. 2,575. Well, we'll see if this turns around. Again, they just took out more leverage here. Just dropping a little lower. Taking out leverage. $1 million on a Solana bet at $1.50.5. That was one of the big ones that just got taken out. Here's a Bitcoin at 6182, 1.4 million. Here's another Bitcoin at 2.85 at 61.9. They're just taking out these big leveraged bets. Dropping it lower and lower and lower, taking out this big leverage. Wow. When are we going to pull up our next all-nighter? Yeah, I don't know. When there's some event that's worth doing live. I did the Trump speech at Bitcoin conference live. That was fun. That was worth doing. But in Dogecoin right now, there's nothing really going on. So great discounts today, Blue Man. Only a few dips left to DCA in on. You bought some Coinbase stock today. Probably got it around 206, 207. I was watching that price. I've already got a chunk. So I was buying Hood. 1790. Dropped below 20 bucks. That was my target. So I bought some Hood stock on Robinhood. Oh, 203. Nice. Got it on the dip. Very good. If the crypto 4-year cycle plays out, MicroStrategy, Coinbase, they're going to do great. That 203 price, that's a good price. Will it drop a little lower than that on Monday? Maybe. If the market continues to tank, stock market on Monday, and crypto is still down, yeah, Coinbase might drop below 200, but that's a pretty good entry point, I think. Time to short. Let's go. Yeah, good luck with that. How much of an average did people make last bull run? I don't know. I mean, people were congratulating me and I didn't take any profits. People were thanking me for helping them make money, but they never told me how much. So I don't know. I want us all to make money in crypto, like I've said. I want us all to become wealthy. I want all the prices to go way up. Today's just not one of those days. But, I mean, what can you do, right? Are you going to panic sell and say, I'm done with it? Or are you going to hold, maybe buy some more on dips and see whether this 4-year cycle really plays out? We have a huge run the end of 2024 and into 2025. That's what I'm waiting to see. That's what I'm waiting to see. Time to short. Oh, man. Hey, you could have made some if you, this morning, you decided that as soon as that jobs report came out, you could have opened that short position up here and made some good money on the way down. But who knew, right? It's easy to look back at it and say, well, yeah, that of course was the play to make. But yeah, not a good day. Recession fears, market dump. That's what we had for today. So probably make a video sometime over the weekend, maybe on Sunday. We'll see how things play out. Be back live on Monday at 4 o'clock East Coast time. Hope to see you then. Until then, hey, hold on. Hold on, folks. We'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.